Judge Tatel, you've become an instant role model, so you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about that. And on
Thank
that
you.
regard, I am really happy you wrote this book. So
Thank
now
you.
let's get into your
Sure.
tenure on the bench, which you write about also in your book entitled Vision, and you detailed the reason for retiring, and you write, quote, I was also tired of having my work reviewed by a Supreme Court that seemed to hold in such low regard the principles to which I've dedicated my life. Unpack that for us.
My book is about judging and about the principles of judicial restraint, like faithfulness to the Constitution and to the laws Congress passed, faithfulness to the court's own precedent and to its limited jurisdiction. These are the principles that confine courts to the process of judging and keep them out of politics and policy. I've lived those principles during my 30 years on the court. They are baked into my DNA. And for the first 20 years on my court, it was fine. Sure, the Supreme Court reversed me from time to time, but I could look at the opinion and see the court utilizing the same judicial process that I did. Yes, they maybe reached a different decision. They maybe interpreted a statute differently than I did, but they didn't ignore the statute. They maybe interpreted a precedent differently than I do, but they didn't disregard it. So even though I would be reversed once in a while, I did be affirmed quite often too, by the way. That was fine with me. The Supreme Court's the highest court in the land, and its job is to review the work of lower federal courts. And as long as it was doing it on principle terms, I was fine with that. But recently, in recent years, this court has all too often abandoned those important principles. And I am bound by the decisions of the Supreme Court as a lower federal court judge, and I became increasingly uncomfortable with the notion that I would have to apply them, particularly since they had such adverse consequences for our country.